Some breaking news came out today. Nick Mullens was traded to the Minnesota Vikings for a 2024 7th round pick. This is another 7th round pick that the Raiders got in the 2024 draft. I know that we recently just traded away Tyree Gillespie for a 7th round pick, so that's 2 extra 7th round picks in the 2024 draft. Now this means that Jarrett Stidham won the QB2 spot, and I know that I've been behind a Jarrett Stidham train, and especially after this game with the poise that he had in the pocket and making some big plays with his arm and with his legs, I felt like he was just the guy that had the edge over Nick Mullens. I wouldn't say that Nick Mullens was bad, but overall, with the experience and just the history that he had with Josh McDaniels back in New England, I felt like he was going to be that guy behind Derek Carr. Overall, it's great that the Raiders at least got something out of Nick Mullens. So what do you guys think about this? Do you guys feel like this was the right move for the Raiders to keep Jarrett Stidham as the QB2? Or were you guys behind the Nick Mullens train? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And some other news, shout out to my guy Raider Scout. The Raiders have signed linebacker Tae Davis. Davis, just 25 years old, has played in 40 games with the Giants and Browns, recording 52 tackles, 3 sacks, 5 pass breakups, 12 stops, and 5 tackles for loss. He spent the 2021 season with the Texans on the IR after a torn bicep and was recently waived after recovering from his injury. He posted a career 66.9 PFF grade with marks of 72.4 in run defense and 51.2 in coverage. So this is a solid move for the Raiders to help the linebacker depth right now, especially in replacement of Kenny Young. It's just kind of funny to me that we went out and brought in a former Texan that was just recently waived before we brought in Jordan Jenkins. I know that he's hurt right now, so we'll see what the Raiders do with that situation and possibly replacing Jordan Jenkins. So with that being said, Raider Nation, let me know your thoughts on Tae Davis. Now the last thing I do want to bring up is a little clip that I seen from the Pivot podcast where my boy Derwin James was showing some love to Hunter Renfrow and letting this dude Ryan Clark know that Hunter Renfrow is that guy.
Hold on 1 second. Did you just start a conversation with Tyreek Hill and go to Hunter Renfrow?
Yeah, it's different.
Hunter Renfrow, the encyclopedia salesman.
Yeah, no, there ain't no encyclopedia salesman.
Hunter really liked that.
Turn the film on. You watch film, don't you?
Again, shout out to Derwin James. I know he's a part of the Yas. He stood his ground and let Ryan Clark and them know that this dude Hunter Renfrow is a dog. So with that said, I wanted to get all the latest Nation news out of the way before I give you guys my game recap, my official game recap to the Raiders versus Dolphins game. I recorded this a night before. I just never had time to edit it. Just letting you guys know that this was all pre-recorded before all this news came out. So hopefully you guys do enjoy.
And you tell them one thing, just win, baby.
What is up, Raider Nation? It's your boy Samori already back in again with another video, and today, you already know, man, the Raider Nation comes out on top. We are now 3-0 in the preseason. Even though it is preseason, it is good to see that our Raiders came out on top in the very first ever Battle of the McDaniels. Josh McDaniels, I don't know what else to say about this guy, but man, he has this team looking totally different out there. Even though the score was really close throughout the whole game, man, I never felt like we were not in control. You could definitely tell that this team was in control no matter who we had at quarterback, who we had at running back. I mean, the offensive line, we're going to get to that in just a little bit, but I mean, overall, man, I would say that this team as a whole looked really good out there. And the defense, my goodness, man, when's the last time you've seen a Raiders defense look this good, especially in preseason with second, third stringers out there? Overall, I really just want to say that I'm excited about this team going into the regular season, man. Just imagine when we finally have Derek Carr, Devontae Adams out there, Chandler Jones, Denzel Perriman, Max Crosby on the defensive side of the ball, man. It's going to be crazy. With that said, Raider Nation, before I get in this post-game show, man, if this is the very first time you come across my channel and you love the Las Vegas Raiders, then hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. Now, coming into this game, it was unclear whether or not we were going to play our starters, but I seen a tweet earlier on right before the game started. Vinny B posted on Twitter saying that the Raiders left a handful of players back home in Las Vegas, including Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Max Crosby, Chandler Jones, Hunter Renfrow, and Colton Miller. Those were just a few names, but I heard that it was over 30 plus players that did not show up in Miami. But the Dolphins, on the other hand, actually had some of their players, some of their starters start in this game. Like Tua Tagovailoa was out there. You had Chase Edmonds out there. There was reports saying that Tyreek Hill was going to play in this game, but we did not see no Tyreek Hill. But for the most part, we've seen a lot of their starters on the offense and defense side of the ball. Now, getting into this game, the very first thing I want to talk about is this offensive line, man. Everybody's been talking about this offensive line, and I know that we've been rotating a lot of players left and right. Who's going to start at right tackle? Who's going to start at guard? Yada, yada, yada. But our starting offensive line going into this game, we had James Illuminor at left tackle. We had Dylan Parham at left guard. We had Andre James. Then we had Lester Cotton, and then Alex Leatherwood at the right tackle position. And I'm going to get to Alex Leatherwood in just a bit. I know a lot of you guys are on his ass, and I understand. Starting this game, though, our offensive line really struggled with pass protection, especially in those first couple of drives when we were facing the Dolphins, starting defensive line. I mean, Lester Cotton did not look good earlier on in this game. He gave up a sack, even gave up a big tackle for loss and whatnot, so he wasn't starting off on the right foot. Now, as for Alex Leatherwood, I've seen everybody drag this dude's name all across Twitter, all across Instagram and whatnot, and understandably so, man. Alex Leatherwood looked horrible out there, man. There was so many plays where he was just getting shoved around, and he let up a huge sack in this game. I believe 1 or 2 sacks, I don't know, but just seeing him on the right tackle position, you definitely could tell that he's not the answer for us moving into the regular season. And I know that there's been a lot of speculations whether or not Alex Leatherwood could start at right tackle for us, but watching him in this game, especially against the Dolphins defensive starters, he's not going to be that guy for us, and the Raiders definitely need to figure something out at that right tackle position. Go get a free agent out there. Wait for somebody. Bring a veteran at that right tackle position, because if this offensive line struggles like they did today, especially in pass protection, it's going to be a long season for us, and we do not want to waste a season like this. And if Derek Carr is going to be starting at quarterback, you do not want this offensive line to be questionable going into week 1. So like I said, Raiders, y'all got to do something about that right tackle position ASAP. Now, I do want to highlight the quarterbacks, especially our backup quarterbacks, and let me just say this. It was definitely the Stiddy show out there, man. Shout out to Jarrett Stidham, man. He balled out in this game. I know he was in there for about, 2 drives, I believe so. But he really did look poised out there and looked confident in the pocket. Even with this offensive line, not looking good in pass protection, he found a way to make big plays downfield to Keelan Cole, Tyron Johnson, even our big tight end Jeff Horsted out there. And you cannot forget about DJ Turner with that nice little, 7-yard play off the sweep and whatnot. But on our first drive, Jarrett Stidham found a way and led our offense on a 75-yard touchdown drive. My guy Zeus punched it in for the very first touchdown of the game. Now, Nick Mullens, on the other hand, kind of struggled in this game. I wouldn't really blame him because our offensive line just couldn't hold up, and it seemed like none of our quarterbacks had any time in the pocket. I mean, it was so bad that even Alex Leatherwood got benched early on in this game. But overall, Mullens went 6 for 9 for only 39 yards. Now, Chase Garbers would take over the whole second half for the Raiders. Had some solid plays here and there, but he used his feet a lot with his mobility. Had a nice 18-yard run, even another 28-yard run, but he just could not punch it in for a touchdown. And I mean, later on in the game, when we were in the red zone, close to the end zone, this dude just held the ball on too long and got sacked, and we ended up kicking a field goal. Overall, I would say the Raiders are in good hands with their backup quarterbacks. I don't know how many quarterbacks they're going to keep for the final 53, but let's just say, man, my boy Stiddy is definitely going to be that quarterback too going into the season, and I'm going to stick by that until the regular season. Now, another position group I do want to talk about is the running backs, and the main running back that really stood out to me in this game was Britton Brown in the second half of this game, man. This dude came out swinging. He had 9 carries for 70 yards, man. A lot of huge carries, and I'm hoping that the Raiders could possibly keep Britton Brown on the practice squad at least, because I know that running back room is really deep right now, and I don't know if he's going to make the final 53, but if we could somehow keep him and Austin Walters at least on the practice squad, I feel like we should be okay. Now, another position group that I would say is really deep for us is the wide receiver position. I mean, other than Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow out there, those 2 guys are solidified on this team. Looking at all the other wide receivers that we do have, even though we let go of DeMarcus Robinson not too long ago, the guys that we have on the roster and the guys that played in the game today, for the most part, I feel like are really solid, and they all have a possible chance to make, the final 53. Now, I do want to talk about this defense. My, oh my. Now, I know that our defense kind of let up a lot of big plays later on in this game, but, I seen enough from them in the first half against the Dolphins starting unit. My goodness, all these young players that we have, that are grooming under Patrick Graham's defense, Like, a lot of these guys look good under Patrick Graham, and I feel like a guy that's definitely going to benefit from Patrick Graham's is safety Jonathan Abram, man. I know that he didn't have a lot of stats out there, but he was all over the field, and you guys already know his biggest strength is getting to the quarterback, rushing the quarterback, or making a big hit out there, and that's what he did today. Had a nice play that I felt like should have been a forced fumble, but a nice hit on a third down play to force the ball out of the receiver's hand. Now, another unit that has a lot of young talent is our linebacker room, man. Shout out to Darian Butler, our undrafted free agent of this year's draft class, man. There's been a lot of hype going around in training camp, and man, in this game, he set the tone on defense with a huge tackle for loss to start off the game. Also adding another pass breakup in this game. Overall, had 5 total tackles. Now, Curtis Bolton was another guy that showed out in this game, had a lot of tackles, but he made a huge play on Teddy Bridgewater, forcing the safety and putting the Raiders in a great position to get the ball back, to drive down the field and score again. Now, the sad thing about that, though, was that our newly signed linebacker slash defensive end, Jordan Jenkins, got hurt on the play. Now, I don't know what it is, but it seems like the referees are already in mid-season form, because Sam Webb, man, this guy laid the smackdown on this dude Myles Gaskin's ass, because this dude put the hit on him, forced the fumble. This dude Webb scooped the ball up, was gonna run down for the tub, but you know the referees, man, they blew the whistle so fast. They didn't let the play happen before they blew the whistle, but they blew the whistle nonetheless. The Raiders just went back, challenged the play, and what do you know? The play got reversed and it was a fumble. So you basically telling us that the referees basically held back a touchdown for the Raiders, man. Oh my goodness. But then again, what else is new? Now, let's talk about this defensive line. I know that I've been getting on this defensive tackle position these past couple of weeks because they haven't really done much, but it was really great to see my boy Big Time Hank out there back in the rotation, because let's just say this guy is still great against the run, man. He had 2 big run stops against the Dolphins when they were trying to get the first down. He basically forced them to kick the field goal at the end of that drive. Now, another guy that I seen all over the field was Myron Tagovailoa Amosa, man. Number 69, just running all over the field. I know the stats do not show, but he caused a lot of pressures on the quarterback, had a lot of nice plays out there. The last guy I do want to talk about and highlight on the defensive side of the ball, especially on the defensive line, is Tashawn Bowers, man. Put some respect on this dude's name. Again, this is another guy I did not expect much out of, and I can admit that. But looking at him in this game, this dude was a force to be reckoned with on the defensive side of the ball, and he's a guy that needs to make the final 53. Let me say that again. This is a guy that needs to make the final 53. He looked great out there, and he could be another guy that could possibly, you know, compete with a guy like Malcolm Coons or somebody else on the defensive line at the defensive end position. At least be our 3rd or 4th edge rusher on the team, because he's a big-bodied defensive end that could definitely make plays out there. Bowers got a lot of great pressure in this game, and you know what? Fuck it. I would say that Bowers is my MVP of this game, man. Book it. This guy had 4 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and a sack. I know that there's going to be a lot of people talking about Tashawn Bowers today, and deservedly so. He's a guy that, like I said before, should make the final 53. But do you guys agree with me, Raider Nation? Is there any other players that you guys were impressed with in today's matchup, or is there another guy that really had you concerned after watching this game? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. All right, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to smack that like button like we smacked the Miami Dolphins today. Also, if this is the very first time you come across my channel and you love the Las Vegas Raiders, then hit that subscribe button and hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. Until the next video, this your boy Simone Raider, and your boy is...
Started off in Oakland, now we here. Thought that we was done, we just hit another gear. Look, started off in Oakland, now we here. Hey, pull up with the nation in the silver black gear. Look, 4 games straight, we in the playoff. Shout out to the Chargers fans, y'all enjoy the layoff.